I want to look at a building which is recognized as one of Europe's largest covered markets. Leeds Kirkgate Market is a huge structure and officially opened in 1857. Its importance goes beyond just business needs, and when viewed through the lens of history seekers, it begins to look far more crazy. I believe this building is holding certain messages and clues we often overlook. So, please stay with me as we go through this story together and find out anything we are missing. So, we are told, in the 1850s, the people of Leeds were fed up with trading in the open-air market at Kirkgate and decided to build a new covered market. So, construction started in 1857 and was completed in separate stages, with the final result being a magnificent building, allegedly influenced by the design of Crystal Palace in London. Today, the building that stands is not the complete original. Certain parts have been damaged and destroyed by fire and replaced. The building we see still stands as the largest covered market in Europe and a Grade 1 listed building. I can't help but be completely struck by the detail of this thing and it being over 150 years old. I mean, look at this thing. You have to ask yourself, is this really necessary for a trader's market for fruit and veg? It baffles me that, at a time when the people of the 1850s were struggling in so many ways with daily life, the most important thing to them was to build these huge, beautiful kinds of buildings. We are told they had no decent living conditions. The people would literally pour their pee out of the window from their pots. Leeds Kirkgate Market's development was done in multiple stages. First, starting in 1857, the original market building opened in May 1857, replacing the Brigate Street Market. Then in 1875, they added the block shops, the oldest surviving structures on the site. Then 1904, a significant addition was the construction of the 1904 Hall, featuring the main entrance on Vicar Lane. And finally 1976 and 1981. Following a devastating fire in 1975, new halls were constructed in 1976 and 1981 to replace the damaged sections. Today, I want to look at the 1904 Hall and main entrance to the Kirkgate Market. An important thing to note, I think, is that when these historic buildings are subject to fires, it's a helpful way for the ones in charge to remove and destroy evidence and materials which may go against their narrative. You see, most of the time, and also in this case, the cause of the fire has never been determined. After the destruction of most of the market hall in the fire of 1975, rebuilding took place to repair the damage. We are told the 1904 market was designed and constructed by brothers and architects Joseph and John Leeming. Once again, we can find out more about these guys through a quick internet search. We can't find much about these fellows, but do get more building achievements linked to the two. It just doesn't feel right that we can always find out a name for the architect but struggle to ever find out about the skilled and gifted individuals who supposedly build these things from the ground up. We cannot find a single thing about any of the actual workers or laborers who actually crafted and built this beautiful thing. I used to be content with just a name for who the building is credited to, but not anymore. The pattern can't be ignored, and I hope you start to see it too. Ironically, Joseph and John Leeming were made members of the Royal Institute of British Architects in 1901. There are parts of this building which stand out like a sore thumb and really go against any logical reasoning for a trader's market hall. The thing that stands out to you first when looking at this thing are the spires and domed roofs. I don't think these domes are just for architectural decor. I believe they are purposeful. They are designed to harness something more intangible, something like ethereal energy. The entire structure, with its industrial scale, looks as if it could be part of a larger network of buildings, all previously working together to channel unseen forces. All of the old buildings in the local area have the same rooftop features. You seriously have to ask the question, is all this decor and extras really necessary for a struggling population, working with his trusty donkey and chisel? Is this structure really needed as a building for this purpose? Or is there more to this than meets the eye? A common feature in these old-world buildings are the huge doorways and grand entrances. The grand entrances, with their huge arched doors, would easily accommodate people or beings much larger than the average human today. The scale just feels out of place, raising the question, who, or what, were these spaces originally meant for? On the inside of the Leeds Market Hall, I find it really interesting that you see quite a lot of symbology, including griffins or dragons. There isn't any recorded reason for why these symbols were incorporated around the building, but it definitely leads me to have more questions rather than any answers. What I find really interesting is any connection it may have to the subject of Tartaria. If you're watching this video, then you will have heard about old world civilizations and words such as Tartaria. A note I think is important to make. The Tartarian flag was a symbol of a griffin and has shown up as a mythological creature across the world. Make of that what you will, I just felt it is important to mention. Also, at the center of the hall, used to sit a great clock, now situated in Oakwood, known as the Oakwood clock. This clock towered in the center hall where an octagonal section allowed it to stand ever so grand. Even in the past, when the original clock was present, it seemed out of place and looked as though it was filling up a space where something used to sit. Today, in the same place, is this. Another common factor in these buildings are the underground levels, which are often forgotten about and closed off to any public use. Leeds Kirkgate Market is no different, with many underground rooms and tunnels no longer in use. Over the years, they have been used for many things such as toilets, storage, and even a barber shop, until eventually closing up the door to the downstairs levels. The odd thing is that none of the original plans or diagrams of the market ever included or mentioned any underground levels. The markets were supposed to have just been built on top of empty farmland which was bought. It makes me wonder about the foundations of this place and the original landscape it used to sit on. We're going to look at some photos of this place, and I hope it makes you wonder what the truth might actually be. So, as we step away from the bustling Leeds Kirkgate Market, we're left wondering its true purpose. Is it simply a masterpiece of Victorian ingenuity, or does it whisper echoes of a forgotten civilization, quietly repurposed through the ages? With its towering domes that seem to defy convention and mythical dragons or griffins guarding its halls, Kirkgate Market might be more than just a marketplace. It's a mystery waiting to be unraveled. What lies hidden beneath its foundations? What untold stories are etched into its walls? Could it hold clues to unlocking the secrets of a world we've barely begun to understand? If this exploration sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into ancient structures, hidden histories, and the mysteries of the past. Until next time, fellow seekers, stay curious, stay resilient, and keep uncovering the truths buried in our world's forgotten corners. This is History Seekers, signing off.